sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do is delete. Delete the messages, delete the number, delete the hope, not because you stopped caring, but because holding on started hurting more than letting go ever will. We don't talk enough about this, how emotional neglect quietly rewires you, how unanswered messages change the way you speak, how broken promises change the way you trust, how silence from someone you love slowly becomes silence inside you, so you hang on to old texts, screenshots, call logs, proof that you mattered once. You reread conversations trying to find hidden meaning, some sign that you weren't invisible, but every reread takes you back to the same truth: you were asking for connection from someone who had already checked out. Emotional neglect doesn't always show up as shouting, or anger, or dramatic endings. Sometimes it shows up as nothing, no reply, no effort, no interest, just a slow fading, a quiet withdrawal, a soft ghosting while the relationship is still technically alive. You keep waiting for clarity, closure, explanation, but emotional neglect never gives closure, it gives confusion. And confusion convinces you to stay just a little bit longer, so you don't delete, you keep holding on, just in case. But here's the truth. You can't heal while staring at digital reminders of what broke you, you can't feel present while scrolling through the past, you can't move forward while old messages whisper what could have been. The past becomes a loop, a trap, a quiet addiction to pain disguised as hope, so the healing begins in a place no one talks about, in the small decisions, the quiet steps: erase, delete, remove, block, not to erase the history, but to erase access to the wound. People might call it dramatic, they might call it overreaction, but emotional neglect changes you. It makes you shrink so quietly that you don't notice until you're gone from your own life. So deleting isn't cruel, it's not petty, it's not immature, it is necessary, it is protection, it is re-entry into your own body, your own story, your own future. When you delete the messages, you aren't erasing love, you're erasing the illusion that you owe more time to something that already ended. When you remove the number, you aren't becoming cold, you're refusing to be abandoned twice. When you unfollow, you aren't being unkind, you're choosing peace over proximity. This is how healing looks sometimes, not poetic, not dramatic, not beautiful, just necessary. No long goodbye, no final conversation, no closure speech, just a decision: I don't belong in the past anymore, I don't belong in emotional silence, I don't belong in one-sided love. You don't have to announce it, you don't have to justify it, you don't have to explain it, just gone, quietly, gently, bravely gone. Delete to heal, erase to remember who you are, remove what hurts, to make space for what's coming. Sometimes the most powerful closure is no closure at all. Sometimes the most powerful love is the love you choose to give yourself. Start again, clean slate, fresh start, erase, delete, move on. Which part touched you the most? Have you ever held on to something because you didn't get closure? Share your story below. Your words might help someone else heal. If this spoke to your heart, hit subscribe for more emotional healing stories every week. You're not alone. You matter. You deserve connection. Be prosperous and share happiness.